Hey, so this is part 4 of our website hacking series. Right now, we are in module 1, which is the foundational module. In that, we are discussing about the basic stuff, the foundational level things, like how website work and these kind of stuff. I have already covered 3 videos, 3 parts. In part 1, we talk about how web pages are made. In part 2, we talk about the server side and client side. And in part 3, we talk about how HTTP help us in communicating between the browser and the server. And we also talk about in part 3 the status code as well as the HTTP methods, different kind of methods. So if you have not watched any of these, I will definitely recommend checking them out so you get the foundational level concept. Okay, now in this part we're gonna cover something that we have not covered in detail in part 3. So right now we will discuss about the cookies. We will talk about what cookies are and how sessions are created, as well as how authentication really happens and security implications. So stick around and let's understand how actually websites remember you. Okay, so let's start understanding the cookies. Imagine we have the example over here. First we will understand the example so you get a little bit idea, and we will then I will tell you in technical terms. So imagine you go to a store, and on the first visit you tell the shopkeeper your name is John. Okay, and you then leave the store. The next day you come again and you tell the shopkeeper basically asks you, who are you? And you say, I'm John. So the shopkeeper says, prove it, because he just don't remembers you. So how you gonna prove it to him that you are actually John and not someone else? If this does not make sense, this example, I'm gonna give you another example which I think is more relatable. Like for example, you wants to get admission in a specific university for a specific course, does not matter. So what you do when you go on the first visit, when you are going to get the admission, you submit the forms and stuff. On the first visit, you don't have the card, the ID card for the university that the guard checks when you go enter the university. At the first time, you don't have the any card that you show to the guard. Instead, you, I think, show the ID card or these kind of stuff, right? So once you go inside the university, you do the admission, and after some specific time, you get the university creates a specific card for each of the student, like the ID card for the student, in which they have their name, their department, and the expiry date, right? So next time when the student wants to go inside the university, they will all they need to do is just get the student card, insert to the card. The card will see the student card, and they will enter the student then, right? So let me tell you what this means in the technical term, how this can be applied to these cookie stuff, right? So the way you go to the university at when you want to get the admission, first you don't have the ID card. So similar, when you go to any website at first, you don't have any cookie, you don't have any special session ID, right? Like when you go to the website and you log into that website, like you enter your username and credential, or either you create a new user account. So if you create a new user account, it will store your credential, your password, and the username in the database, right? So next time when you go to the website, you try to log in, you will enter the credential and you will get login. Now as I told you in the part 3 of the video, where when your browser and the web server communicate, they use the HTML language, right? No, I mean they use the HTTP, not HTML. And HTTP is basically a stateless. What stateless mean is that since the browser and the server use the HTTP language, it is stateless. Stateless is like, I tell you that my name is John, and after when I tell you tomorrow, I come tomorrow to your shop and again tell you that my name is John, you will not remember that, and I have to prove that I am actually John. So HTTP itself is stateless. So when you log into that website, the website has to remember you, because if you go to that website 100 times a day, like you go to the website, you log in, and you just close your laptop or close that website, the website will just forget you. Now if you go again, you will have to log in again, and if you go to that specific website 100 times a day, you will have to log in 100 times a day. Now to solve this problem, since the HTTP is stateless, it does not remember you, the server, when you actually logs into the website, the website basically give you a token, a badge, that this specific John user is logged in, and yep, they have entered the correct username and password. Now next time you come, or if you want to go to another page, you will just show me the badge, the token that I have given you, and I will just accept, and you don't even have to log in again, right? So this is what the cookies does. It saves us from login, tries to log in again and again and again, even for a small action like going from the home page to contact us page or any other page, right? So this is the main functionality of the cookies. First of all, let's understand how it is done theoretically like this way, and then we will do it practically, right? So I do have a practical lab kind of thing, so we will do it practically so that we will get the idea. Yep, this is how it works. But first let's get the a little bit idea of how it works, right? So over here we have a login page, right? And we as a user, we say we enter our username and password like this. So we tell the server our username is this guy and our password is this. Now the request, the HTTP request is sent to the server. The server then process the request and checks if the credentials are correct or no, if it exists already or no in the database. So if it exists, the server will think, yep, this person proved they are John by giving the correct password. Now I need to remember that person somehow, since the HTTP uh, is stateless, it forgets you, it needs to remember you somehow. So it will give you us a token or a badge, as I told you earlier. Now the server gives you a badge or a token, or a ticket that says, yep, validated, this is person John, and the token that the server will give you will gets expired in a specific time, in some certain time you will we will see it actually. Okay, normally the cookie, the the token that we are talking about over here is like some kind of random code, like for example this, or like some gibberish kind of this, right? So the server gives us this and say, here, take this badge. Every time you come back, just show me this specific badge and I will know it's you, John. Now you log in, the server gives you that badge, and you want to move to another, you want to access another resource like another page. Let's say contact us page. You want to move from home page to the contact us page. So the HTTP itself will forget you, but since the server has given you the token, the badge, the cookie, so you will add so you will add that token in your HTTP request. The server will look at your request and see, yep, this is the session ID and this is valid, this is correct, and it is right now working, and I can see, yep, I have given this specific token to the user John, right? Or instead of the contact us page, let's say a profile setting page. So you click on the profile setting, it must have your profile settings, your stuff, right? So it will see your session ID, and if it is correct session ID, it will then let us to move to the profile setting page. So it is something like that. And if you want to move from the profile setting page to the home page again, since you are making again an HTTP request to the web server, it will then again see your session ID, and it will see, yep, this is a logged in user, this is a right user, and I can see their session is not expired, so they will let you move to the home page. Let's see it visually how this works. So first of all, you have the browser and you have the login page, right? And you enter your username and password. You then click on the login, and then this data, this credential moves through internet to the server. It receives your this information, your request. The server validates is user John correct and is accessed in our database. If it does, it then checks the password. If it is also true, the server creates a token and says, I will create a secret page that represent this login session. So as I told you, it creates some random number, and once the server makes this random ID, it then since the server will have to go send us the response, because we have made HTTP request, it have to send the HTTP response. So it adds this specific token random ID, the session ID, in the HTTP response. So it says like login successful, here's your page, keep this safe and it will expire in a specific time, right? So the server makes this HTTP response and then send us this specific HTTP response, and we receive the that specific token, and the server basically sets this token with the set cookie. So set cookie equal to the random ID, and in HTTP response we have the set cookie, and in front of that specific ID, or like session ID, something like that. Just the server gives you that randomly generated session ID, right? So now when you do the future request, it you will just show the token and it will remember you. Hope you understood this. If you have any question in this, let me know in the comments. Now what we need to do is, let's do the practical, understand how this practically and actually works. But before that, you see right here, without the cookies, you go to the login page, you enter, and again you visit to the website. It will ask you again, who are you? You will enter password again, then you visit again, you will enter again. And as I told you in the start of the video, you will have to enter. If you go to that website 100 times a day, you will have to enter, you will have to log in 100 times per day, right? And with cookies, you log in once, you get the page, and how till when the cookie does not get expired, you will be keep logged in, and you don't have to log in again. Now let's do the practical. Okay, so right here, this thing you see, this is the simulator that I have made using the AI Studio Google by Google. So what this gonna do is, it will like kind of, we will make a request to, first of all, this is the website. Okay, this is like some testing website, and we have the login page, right? These are the credential. So once we enter the credential, it's like a login page of your Facebook or the Instagram. You enter the credential. Once you enter the credential, as we talked earlier, if you enter the right credential, the server will creates a specific random token that when you, even when you move to another page or do some other task, you will not have to log in again, right? So it will have to generate and give you that specific token. So we will see right here, this one is empty. Right here, this is also empty. We will see the HTTP request and response that we get from the server over here. And then this is the client storage, our storage, the user storage, that here we will see the cookies that will the server that we receive from the server. And here, this is the storage, the database of the server. Like, it is not supposed to be here, but just for understanding purpose, this two will be on the user side and this will be on the server side, that we will not be able to see, right? But just for understanding, we will see. Now right here, we or there is nothing. So let's understand this. So I'm gonna just copy this guy over here and paste it over here, and also copy this and paste it here. Okay, so first of all, you see there is no any cookie in the client storage, as well as nothing here. Now first of all, let me enter the incorrect password so you get the idea. I just type one, it is checking, and it says invalid username or password. And in the network log, we see that we use the post method of the HTTP. We are on the login page, and we are using the HTTP 101 HTTP version. If you have not watched for the third video, the third part of the module one of the module one, yep, go watch it definitely. Otherwise, you won't understand these. Now, this is the host. This is the website that we want to connect on. This must be in the request header, right? So this is it, and the user agent is our browser is Mozilla this version, and also will include the our operating system related information. Now told you earlier, I told you in part 3 that when you are using the post method, the data you send will be included in the body part, right? So right here we are using post method. We want to send the information to the server. So we talk about, we use the post method to like log in and form submission and other stuff where you send this data to the server. So right here we want to log in. I click on the authenticate, and this credential, the username and the password is sent to the server. Now the server process that and saw that the username or either the username or the password is incorrect, so it gave us this 401 unauthorized error, unauthorized status code. We talk also about in this about the status code in the part 3. So this means either you have not entered the full like fill the all of the boxes, or you just give incorrect password or username, right? It says invalid credential, so server rejected us, and thus we don't have any session created over here, right here we don't have anything. Now let me just put the correct password over here, and let's see. Okay, then let's wait, and this is another request that we made, and we are logged in now. See right here we have tried to log in again. This is the same thing, and now here the username is this and the password is this, right? Now these details are sent to the server processed that and understood. Yep. Now the username and the password is matched. It just check the its database that this username exists already, and this is its password. Now earlier I told you, when you log in successfully, the server will creates a random ID. Once it creates the random ID in the server will have to then send the respond to the client to us. So it will include that random id which will be like this. I'm gonna explain this specific client that I selected. Okay, so you will get a little bit more idea of what this means, and we will get successful message, and this we are logging over here. Now if I click on this client storage, we will see in our local storage, in our browser storage, like the way if I click on this inspect, and over here we have some specific, I guess, memory up, not memory, yep, application, and then this over here, right here, where is the storage, cache storage, and these are the storage that store session storage, local storage, this one, right? So this is the same thing over here. Now we got this session id from the server. So each time we create another request, like if I click on this or this or this, it will send the http request to the server, and the server needs to see the specific token that it gave us, this cookie, the session id. So if we don't have that, it will tell us to log in again, and after that we will be able to see. Now right here after this I will click on this. Okay, and we will see another request. So let me just click on the profile. So let's wait and see. We are on the profile section now, and let's see the this another request. So we click on the profile, and we it uses now the get method, not the post, because we did not don't want to send any data to the server. So we just click on that, it send the get request to the server give us the content of the profile page, right? So in the request, http request that we send, the client send, the browser send, we have the same thing that we want to access to the profile page using these. This is the host, this is the user agent, and again now you see right here we also send the session id. So we send this session id, the server check the session id if it exists in the secret database of the server, and if it exists, then it checks if it is expired or no. If it is not expired, it will then just kind of let you to move to another page or perform the function. If it is expired, it will then tell you to log in again. The cookie expire after some certain after some specific time. So right now it is not expired, so we just can freely move to the and other pages, right? And This right here says authorization success. Server will get cookie this and look up the role in its internal database. Role is user which has permission to view slash profile. Now one more thing is that since this is a normal login page, like not admin dashboard, like a normal user login page. So when you log in that login using that login page, you enter credential, the server will create the session ID, as well as it will specify the role for you that this John user enter this password, this is its session ID, and its role is a normal user, not an admin user, right? So this kind of role thing that is stored in the server secret database, it's stored in the server side, not on the client side. If it was stored on the client side, we could just easily modify that and then send to the server. It will be easy. It will be very easy to become an admin from normal user to the no, normal user to admin user. Right now, here you see the server that gave us the session ID. I did not show you, but it is there. When we log in over here, first of all, it start from ZVE and it will be here as well, right? Hope you understood this. Now if I click on this, it will use the session ID again. Right here it uses this, so we easily just move there. Now since the cookie, the session ID is not expired yet, so we can easily move there. So if I go to the client storage and force expire this, if I click on this, it will be expired, right? So if it get expired and we then click on any of these, it will then send the HTTP request to the server will check, and server will see this session ID is expired now and we need to log in again. Like right here we can move freely, you can see. Now let me click on this guy, and if I click on any of these, we will need to log in again. So you see right here, let me just move here. This is the request. It's because we deleted the request, the cookie, right? Now it did not send anything, the cookie. So server says forbidden, you are not allowed to view this page, you have to log in again, or authentication allowed, like authentication required. So authentication failure, the browsers send no cookie or an invalid one which might be expired. The server cannot verify who is making this request. Access denied, does access denied. Now we need to log in again, and let me move here, and you see right here we don't have anything. Even this is, it just got expired, let's assume this. Okay, so if we click again, we will then get a new session. Let me click, and you see right here we got another session ID. Now one more thing is that this, all of these things are accessible for a normal user. Now as a normal user, if I click on this admin page, admin dashboard, since my role is a normal user, not admin, so I won't be able to access this admin page. Let me just move here, or let me just refresh this so that this guy gets clear, the um this box. Let's wait for a bit. Okay, so let's log in again. Let me copy paste here, paste this guy. Yep. So let's click on this and see what we're gonna get. Since this is not allowed for us as a regular user, normal user, this is only authenticated for admin user who manages the site, and they will have different credentials. Now let's click on this and see. So it sent the HTTP request, this guy, and also the session ID, but the server processed that and said that this admin page required the admin privileges required, and the server found session ID but belonging to John user, but the role is user for the John. Accessing to the admin page requires the user must have the role admin to access to this admin page, and we get the 403 forbidden HTTP status code. What this means is, in the part 3 I have talked about, but let me just quickly tell you this. Right here you see um even when you are logged in but don't have permission, you will get this, like for example, get the admin panel. You are not allowed, you will see the 403 forbidden status code, right? So this is the same thing again. If you are not watch the third part, you should check it out, so you get the idea. Now what we're gonna do is we will have to log in with the admin credential. Normally for the normal user, the login form is different, and for the administrator related account, the form is different. Like for the student, you there is a college website and you are a student, you will go to the student login page, you will enter your credential, and let's say another person is a teacher, they will go to the teacher login portal and they will enter the credential and they will get their own privileges, right? So right here, if I enter these credential, let me do this. Now we will be able to for this specific user, the role is admin, not a normal user. So we said that to access this admin page, the role for a user must be admin. So let's click on this authenticate and see. Now we are logged, we can just even if we click on this, we are able to access this page. Let's see this guy, we log in with the admin credential. So we send these cookies, I mean we send these cookies as a normal user, I guess, and we send this new credential for the admin user, and the server processed it and set another cookie, give us another cookie saying login successful, and you are now a user, admin user, and your role is admin. Credentials are now valid for admin role. Server created a new session record and send a set cookie header, right? So we got login, and now we can also access to the private areas, right? We were here, we then click on here, click here. The server checks our new session ID and its role, that for this specific user, and its role is admin, and this is its session ID. So it check all of these, and then it just give us the response if you are allowed to see and give us the content, right? Now if you go here, you can see right here, the server side created another session ID for the admin user, and this is the old one for the normal user, right? So hope you get the idea of what all this mean. And remember, I told you I will explain what this line mean. So I'm just gonna go here and let me just scroll a bit so we will understand this. First of all, let's understand this HTTP only secure and the same site. Or let's just start from the beginning. So first of all, we have this line, the total that we'll understand. First of all, we have the set cookie. This is the command the server sends to the browser. The server sends to us, to the client. It is like saying, hey browser, I am setting a cookie for you. So the server send us like set cookie colon session ID equal to the session ID that the server generated. So the server said, browser, I'm gonna your cookie set cookie as session ID, and its value is this. So it kind of stored that information in its local storage. So set cookie is like the command that set the cookie, and this is the cookie, and each cookie must have like the name, like this is the variable and this is the value of which is the actual code, right? So this is that, and now let's move into the HTTP only. Next we have the HTTP only. Let's see what this means. So when you set this HTTP only, it means that this cookie will only this session ID will only be passed when you do make the HTTP request, and you cannot actually use the JavaScript or any other malicious way to inject any code to get your cookie from your local storage, right? Normally if you use the HTTP, it is unencrypted, but if it is HTTPS, they won't see anything. And as well as this, if you set this, I guess the like let's see what this means. Imagine a hacker injects malicious code into a website. This is alert document.cookie. So without HTTP only, the malicious code reads your cookie, hackers gets your session token, and hacker use that session token to log in as you. Now with HTTP only, the malicious code tries to read your cookie. Browser says no, this cookie is HTTP only, and JavaScript cannot touch it. When you right, so since JavaScript, that malicious code cannot touch that code, that cookie, so the hacker won't get the cookie, right? So simply means only the browser can open it automatically when making HTTP requests, nothing else. And another thing, we have the secure thing. So secure means that only send the cookie, this cookie over HTTPS, which is secured and is encrypted. Even if you are on so never send, it means like never send it over the HTTP. Even if the server tries to send the cookie over HTTP, the browser refuses, and it will only be able to send the HTTP if it uses the HTTPS, right? And then we have the same site equal to strict, which right here you see this guy, right? So literally it is, I guess, in every login, whenever you enter the credential at the creation of session ID, these things are defined already. So let's see what this one means. This is the most important one, anti-hacking flag. So what this mean is only send this cookie if the request come from the same website and not from the any other website. Like, what does that mean? Let's see. This protects us from the CSRF attack, cross-site request forgery. I hope I pronounce it correct, but whatever that is. So let's see what happens if we don't use the same site. You log into your bank. Bank gives you set your session ID. This your browser store it. Now you open a new tab. You visit another website, and that malicious website have some code stored on their website, and that malicious code is basically, in simple term, like trying to make request to that website, the bank website, which has given you the session ID and is stored in your local browser. And that malicious website is kind of making website to your bank. So without the same site, you are requesting, hackers are requesting to your bank from different website, and it will use your session ID of your bank website, right? So it will use that session ID, and it will do like malicious stuff. For example, this is the get transfer to hacker amount. This, it will use the bank account, bank website session ID, and it will, since it is a validated, it is a correct session ID, it will do its work, and it will send the money to the hacker's account, right? So CSRF, hope I am not sure, but I think later in the last module we will cover this attack in very detail with theoretical theory and practical as well. Now with the same site, I think this is the very opposite. Even if you make a request from other website, it won't work. The cookie, bank sets cookie, this guy same sites strict. Your browser store it, you visit attacker.com, the attacker's website tries to make a request to your bank.com. Your browser is about to send the request with the cookie, but it checks, wait, this request is coming from attacker.com, but the cookie is only for your bank.com. This does not fetch, so it does not send the request. Browser refuses to send the cookie. So this is what it means. I hope it makes sense, the cookie, how it is created, how it is stored, how it is expired, how it can be stolen. We talk about this guy here, the same site one. There are other methods as well. If it is not secure, like it will send the cookie on the HTTP, and HTTP requests are not encrypted, and here they can intercept, the hackers can intercept your traffic if they are connected to the same network. So hope you get all of this, understood all of this. Still, if you have any question, let me know in the comments. And right here you see this URL, I have made this public. I don't know till when this gonna work, but if you want to access this portal kind of thing, this simulation, this simulator, you can just copy this URL, take image, give it to the AI, and it will just extract this URL and then paste this URL in your browser, or either write it manually. So whatever works for you. Hope this all makes sense. If you have any question, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next part, and we will see what we will do in the next part. Okay, so see you soon.